Hello, my name is Imani Black. And I really like YouTube. I watch so much YouTube, it's ridiculous. But I really don't be posting like that. Lately, I've just been thinking, like, I've been feeling like creation over consumption has been my mindset these days, because I'm like, I just consume so much YouTube, so much media. I'm thankful it is just YouTube, because it used to be TikTok, but that made me unhappy. So I like cut off TikTok for a little bit. I'm back on there now, but my algorithm is better as well. So it's kind of like, okay, cool. I'm also not addicted to it. I feel like the behaviors and things are much better now for me to like just not be stuck on there all the time. So I'm proud of myself for that. But creation over consumption has been my mindset that I've really been trying to tap into lately, because I think I saw it in a book. I kind of looked through this book by Rick Rubin. I have it. I thought I saw it in this book. I've had it for a year. I literally have not read it, but let me see. I thought I saw something that said creation over consumption. Everyone is a creator. Creation over consumption. Or maybe I heard it in an A$AP Rocky song. I don't remember where I heard it, but it's got me to thinking a lot lately, and I put it as my screensaver on my phone. Where is it? Creation over consumption. And that's just my vibe lately. So I'm really trying to tap in with creating for YouTube. I love creating for YouTube, to be honest. It's so fun, and I don't know, I just really like it. I like to do it, but I don't do it enough. And I need to tap in, because, I was watching something yesterday. It was so funny. It was like, TikTok, you can BS on there, but YouTube, you cannot. And that's really, I think, what has been holding me back from like fully investing in YouTube. I've been talking about doing YouTube for 7 years now, since 2017. And I'm just like, why haven't I done this the way I said I wanted to? Actually, I've been talking about doing YouTube since I was in high school. So that was like since graduating high school, that was 2013. So now I'm real grown. I'm real grown, and I still haven't tapped into this the way I really want to. So my goal this month is to do 5 videos. This is number 1. I know there's like this thing called Vlogmas, and I don't know. I'm just tapping into what I feel is right. I kind of have to get into a mood, a schedule. I have to get into a schedule for myself. My mood, it changes a lot, and I've been living a lot off of like my mood. I used to feel like feelings are the only facts, and I'm kind of feeling like that's not so true. Or it's not something that I can live by fully anymore, because oh my God, look at this. My collar was tucked in. Y'all wasn't gonna tell me my collar was tucked in? It's cool. But I used to feel like feelings were the only facts, and I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to live in a more, I don't know the word. I don't even want to say logical. I have good sense, but just want to stop being, I don't know, I let my feelings really guide me through everything. I don't want to disregard my feelings, because they are factual. Oh wait, I just can't. I don't know how to balance it, but feelings are facts to me. But maybe that's not the way it should always be. So I'm just figuring out my balance on how I want to do things, especially when it comes to like creating. Like, I love creating, but then some days I'd be like, oh, it's cloudy outside, I don't feel like creating. So I don't. It's like, dang, now I feel bad, because I was supposed to be creating, and I just watched YouTube and laid in bed all day, or I just worked and I didn't do anything after work to really advance my life the way I really wanted to advance. And I don't want to keep living like that. It's not fun, and I feel like it's keeping me in the same place that I've been. I know I'm in a better place, definitely than I was a year ago, definitely than I was earlier this year. But I'm still not where I want to be in my life. But I can control that. I can do things towards being where I want to be in my life. And so creating over consumption, creating over consuming right now is, being offline just a little bit more. Like, what creation over consumption is kind of looking like for me as well is I've been doing crossword puzzles. Let me show y'all. I got this at Barnes & Noble's a few weeks ago. My friend gave me a Barnes & Noble gift card, and I was gonna buy like a self-help book, and then I was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to talk about, or not saying I don't want to think about myself, but I don't want to read another self-help book. I got a million on my shelf that I have not even read yet, like for real. So like, I'm not even finna do that right now. So I was like, okay, what else would I like? I looked at getting like a fantasy book, because I was like, you know, I don't really read a lot of fiction books. But then it was funny. I was looking in the fiction section and I saw this book called Animal Farm by George Orwell, who, you know, if you keep up with Apple and advertising type of stuff, George Orwell, he made that book 1983 or 1981. Let me look it up. 1984. George Orwell made the book 1984, which I don't know what it's about, but I know it did influence Apple's like first comeback advertising or something like that back in the day. And I know this because I listened to the Steve Jobs audiobook a couple years ago. And man, that's a brilliant, crazy man, but he is brilliant. I walked past a book called Animal Farm by George Orwell, and then I remembered, it's like, wait a minute, I found this book in my first apartment when I moved in my first apartment, where we had like a trash room, but it was like, if you had stuff you wanted to just give away, you could put it in there. And I remember, like, I have like a couple of things still from that apartment when I found it in that trash room. I have this thing that says grateful, thankful, blessed. I found that in the trash room. It was like a good condition. I was like, I love this kind of stuff. And it's like hanging on my wall over here. And I've literally always had it ever since then. That's been 7 years. And then another thing I have that I got from that trash room was that book, Animal Farm by George Orwell. Yeah, so look, I have the book. I already have a book. I've literally had this since 2017. Never read it. I have never read it, but that's okay. But you know, I was like, oh, so basically when I went to Barnes and Nobles, I was like, I saw that book and I was like, oh, I have that book. So I do have a fiction book that I can read. Okay, what else would I like to use with my gift card? The gift card was only $25. So it was like, I was either gonna spend all my money on the self-help book or most of my money on the fantasy fiction book that I was looking at. And then I was like, okay, well, where's the, you know, the cheaper section where I can just get something cheap? So I got this crossword puzzle. And it has been so fun. Like, I was like, I want to challenge my mind. I want to challenge my mind, keep my brain sharp, you know, beyond just reading stuff on the internet. Like, what is out there beyond this? So I got this book, or this crossword puzzle book. I've been doing it day near every day, and I really enjoy it a lot. It's very fun, and I'm so good at it. Like, I be slow a little bit sometimes, but then I found out I have a rhythm. It's like I read all the words first, and then I go in looking, and then I kind of think about like problem solving, like looking backwards, looking sideways. It's so fun, and it really, clearly I'm excited about it. But that's one way I feel like I'm getting my brains to like do some, you know, my wheels to be turning versus just consuming. Another way I've been creating more and consuming a bit less is I got these 2 other books from Barnes & Noble when I was looking for something kind of cheap that would fit into my budget. So I'll show you. I got this book. This is me, 1001 Questions to Learn More About Yourself. I learned so much about myself all the time, but especially this year, like I realized, like, I'm not gonna say I'm confrontational, but I used to think I had no drama in my life, girl. But I learned that about myself this year. I'm like, okay, I don't like fighting until I'm fighting, but, you know, just, I wanna learn more about myself beyond like just some of the shadow work I've been doing. And I think, well, I guess this might be considered shadow work in a sense, but I'm just learning more about myself. Like, one question I like, I don't know, I'm just opening the book. One question I think is cool. Does someone worry about you? Has someone ever pampered you? Have you ever been taken care of when sick? What is something you picked up from someone else? Like, these are just questions to just ask yourself. Like, I don't want to keep thinking about myself outside of me. I don't have to. I'm a whole person with a whole feeling, a whole body, a whole everything. So yeah. Another thing I got from the bookstore that I'm also very proud of is this book. It says When God Winks at You. And it's a book about how God speaks directly to you through the power of coincidence. And I haven't read it yet, but it seems like a good book, you know. I don't know. Another thing I've been reading is this book, Closed Mouths Don't Get Fed. You know, just reading it, how do I say this without sounding like weird, but I feel like years ago my vision of where I would be in life was much different. I felt like I would be in a high paying job, in love with a great man, and debt free, and just so, I feel like I kind of am actually in alignment with a lot of the things, but I'm not. But I feel like some of what I want is just takes more time. That's what I can say. It's taking a little bit more time. I'm still gonna get what I want, because I feel like even if it's not on me, it's still in me and it's still gonna happen. I don't know. I don't wanna say I'm a late bloomer, but things are just taking its time. And it's because I have my life to live and things to learn before I get to there. That's how I'm taking it. This lady, you know, she seems like she has it all. She was in the sports, what's the word? She's in the sports, she's climbed up the corporate ladder and things like that. I kind of decided pretty early on I wasn't gonna climb the corporate ladder. And, you know, I'm wondering, like, what is that? How has that looked? How has that really transpired for me? And I'm figuring that out. I don't think the corporate ladder is the way for me. Even with my current job, I'm just like, I'm not even gonna get into that. But I'm just like, okay. So I'm kind of trying to, you know, relate to her. I'm trying to relate to her even though our stories are different. This woman, she seems like, you know, she's had the family, she has the family, she has the career, the husband, everything, like, and I'm just like, okay, maybe there's still gems in here. What's the word? I can't relate in that sense as climbing the corporate ladder, but you know, there's still some things I've highlighted in here. And this seems like a good book. And what would it be like? I'm trying to get out of my own like world and into something new, because I am trying to go a different way in my life. So it's just like, how can I learn more about that without that being my path right now? And I think books are like one of the best ways to really just like learn. Seriously, they are one of the greatest ways to learn and take in. I guess it is consuming, actually. It is consuming. Wow, all of this is consuming. But I think it's a different form of consuming and consumption, because, I don't know, I'm just like, listen, I'm gonna read me some books. I'd rather consume some books than to be on TikTok all day. I'm not gonna lie, I was kikiing a lot last night, but I did sleep so good tonight, so I'm not even mad. But yeah, I've just been creating over consuming. Even when it comes to like food. Like, I like to cook at home more, like, and I'm fine with saying that. I love going grocery shopping. Another way I've been creating over consuming is I write a lot of notes in my notes app. Like, I've been doing this since like the beginning of the year. I've been doing it for a while, but then really at the beginning of the year, I've just taken it to the next level. Like, I journal so often. And it's because my therapist, she recommended I do that. And that's been very helpful. I also talk a lot to myself through my voice memos app. Like, I got voice memos for days, but I'm really glad I do have it, because when I go back and listen to certain things, I'm like, dang, I foresaw this, or okay. And it also helps me with just not oversharing anymore, because like, I'm talking to the best person I can talk to. That's myself. Like, you know, I don't want to be influenced by anyone else's opinions or thoughts, to be honest. And I'd rather just talk it out with myself. That really helps me get it out, but not feel so stuffed. And I used to do this. I used to actually just do like a video diary pretty often, but you know, storage on my computer got taken up. And then like, I feel like video or voice memos were easier for me, especially when I lived with my parents, because I could just get in my car and talk to myself, and it looks like I'm talking on the phone, but really I'm just talking to myself, and I don't care. Like, I got plenty of things to say and talk about with myself. Sometimes I don't though. And a lot of times I'm honestly just sitting in silence. Like, I really don't like to listen to a lot of stuff. And I've been listening to this new type of music. I really don't know what they're saying. I really don't know what the language is either. But I heard it on Instagram and I like it. It's this band or this group, I don't know, but they're called New Guinea. And I don't know what they're saying, but a lot of their music is more instrumental more than anything. And I kind of like that I don't know what they're saying. It keeps me from like, it just keeps me in the vibe of enjoying the music. And I like that, I really do. Another way I've been creating over consuming is I really want to start painting. I really do. I don't know why it feels like it's been such a block for me for so long to paint or to not paint. Actually, I do know why. So I lived with my parents earlier this year for about a year, and I moved out a while ago. And so while I was living there, like at first I painted a little bit and I did some great things. Like the things I've painted, I don't have them right now. They're at a gallery. Okay. But the things I painted, like it was really nice. It was very fun. It was so like inspiring, therapeutic, and a lot of great things. But then like I got some rules put on me where I couldn't paint in the house anymore, and it was just like, so I really need to like just tap in and really paint. And that's what I think I want to do next. Like I really want to start painting. Like I love photography, I do. And I'm thinking about like painting my photos. Like that's something I'm thinking about. I think it's really cool and able to add like a really cool touch. I really like Photoshop, but what would it look like to do these things on some paintings instead? Or do these things on some, or to paint on my photos instead of like using Photoshop to do these like funky things? Good question. I'm tapping into that for real. So I'm gonna work on that. That's something that will make me very proud of myself, to just paint. Like I really have to start painting. I really do. I have it on my list. I have like a list of things I need to do in December. And yeah, painting is on that list because it's really been on my heart. I'm like, oh, I haven't painted in like a year, seriously. And I just don't like the feeling of like, why am I holding myself back from painting? I hate it, but I'm getting over this roadblock. So that's my own thing, but I will. And when oh my God, hold up, my foot hurts. Painting, it's just so fun and therapeutic for me. And I haven't done it in so long, but I'm kind of letting go of my therapist sessions right now. And I just don't want to be, the reason why I am is because I don't care to listen. When it comes to my therapist, I just don't feel like talking. I don't feel like listening. I just want to do. I just want to go forward. I also have a therapist where I feel like she's very helpful, but I just don't, I want to trust and rely upon my own decisions and my own beliefs. I weigh my opinion, my family, and then my therapist is kind of like guidance a lot. I weigh it a lot more than my friends, real stuff. But I don't want to listen anymore. I've listened and talked and was, just done a lot. I've listened enough. And I've taken account a lot of other people's opinions enough. I don't want to talk. I don't want to listen. That's why I know I can't be in a relationship right now. I don't want to like do anything right now. I just want to create. I really just want to create. I want to paint. I want to read books. I want to do crossword puzzles. I want to read this book. I want to do things that make me feel good, that really nourish me. Also yoga. I've been doing yoga too. And yoga, oh my gosh, it's so cool because your mind and body are really connected. If I've learned anything this year, it is definitely that. Your mind and body is connected. I've just been understanding how yoga and Pilates like really can help you. And it's like, it's not just a physical thing, it's a mind thing, which is beautiful. Another thing I've been doing to create more than I consume is I'm actually working on getting my group exercise certification. And I know that is consuming, but it's like this consumption is helping me create. And I'm just learning about things that are really interesting to me. I wanted to be a group exercise instructor since I was in college. I remember I didn't find out until later twice that there was a group exercise certification course going on. So I missed it both times, unfortunately. But I've always had it in my heart to be an instructor. I really do want to teach group exercise classes. So that's something I'm working on. I also am getting my project management certification. I've been doing a lot of research on that to make sure I'm like doing things correctly, make sure I'm not wasting my time, because there is a process to go through that. And I do want to get that so that in the future, well, one, it's going to help me. I I'm recognizing I am chosen in a lot of ways. Like, I be saying I don't want to do like these project management roles, but I always end up in project management roles. And I'm such a boss. Like, I get stuff done. Like, I'm a thinker and I'm a doer. So like, clearly I'm a project manager type of person. I just need to be more organized. And that's something I've really been working on, is being more organized with my life and what I'm doing. Because that has always been like an issue for me. It's like being organized. I'm really good at it. When I'm on it, I'm on it. But when I'm not on it, oh, I'm off. I'm everywhere. And I don't want to keep going through life like that. Like, I don't want it to be too extremes, you know? Like, I want it to be balanced. And so that's what I'm really working on with myself. And it's like, those are behaviors. That's not just something you can teach or something you can just like do overnight. You got to like practice it daily. And that's been really like my thing, is like daily practices to be organized, daily practices to stay on my own time management and have that transpire across the board. Like, you can do it for work, but you can't do it for yourself, or you just let yourself do whatever, whenever. I'm working on it. But yeah, creation over consumption. There's a lot to consume in this world. There's something for everybody. There's something for every interest, every thought you have. There's like 10 plus articles on it. But I'm on something new. I want something bigger and better. I want to travel. I want to pay off all my debt. I want to be in love. I want to do bigger things than what I'm doing right now. I want to be around someone I actually accept and want to be around. And I'm around, like, I am like that with my friends. Like, I'm only friends with people I like, which is easy. But like, there was a time where it was like I was dating people I didn't like. I thought, oh, I'll warm up to them. No, I'm not. I can't be convinced. No, I can't befriend people I don't really like. Why would I do that? Also, like, people just try to convince you to be their friend or to continue dating them, and it's just like, I can't be convinced anymore, which I'm glad. Which is also why, like, right now I know, like, I'm not in the mood to date. I want to give my attention to someone I accept and who accepts me. So I'm willing to just wait and thug it out in the meantime. And just, I know in this period of my life, I just want to be quiet. I want to take my cute pictures. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to become organized, because if I've learned anything, being organized, it transpires across the board. It can. Being disorganized can transpire across the board too. I've lived the balance of both extremes, and I don't want that. I want the balance. So I'm working on that. I'm working on these things. So when I do meet this person, when I meet my mans, it's not gonna be hard for me making up my mind about being organized and like saying like, hey, I'll be here at this time. And actually be there on time. I would like to do that. I would like to do that. For someone I really like and accept, I'm willing to do that. So I'm working on those things right now. And getting this right now, because when I think about these next levels of responsibilities, it's like, I'm gonna probably be a boss. I'm gonna be a boss. Like, I'm gonna have my own storefront one day. I'm also going to the next level in my business. I'm thinking about the shorter term goals and the longer term goals. And it's just like, you gotta do things right now, because it's day to day. It's not just when you get in a relationship, what you gonna do. It's not when you become a mother, what you gonna do. It's not when you are the storefront owner, then what you gonna do. It starts now. Like, what are the habits that I'm building now to be ready for those things? Be ready for these bigger responsibilities, and that require more of me. And that require me to split my head a little more. I'm fortunate in that while I am not in the mood to really talk or listen, I do talk and listen. I just can't. I'm not a hermit. I don't be at home all day. And I'll be on TikTok and I'll be on YouTube. So these are things I'm still working on. But like, I'm not a hermit. So I'm just like, I don't sit up here and not talk to nobody. I don't just sit over here and not talk to nobody. I definitely go out. I definitely hang out with my friends. I definitely talk to people. So it's like, those are things you just can't avoid. It's something I'm not really trying to avoid. Just certain aspects of people I'm trying to just like, I don't know, separate from right now to just focus on myself. But yeah, I'm starving. I gotta get ready for a meeting. And yeah.